Hacks likes this very much.
Welcome to
Coffee with Toffees.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Let's do this.
Good morning and welcome back to Coffee with Toffees. Today is January 12th and we are bringing you the news. I'm joined in the studio by Toffees Jr. I've got him today and he was getting a little bit grumpy hanging out in his room and decided he wanted to be on the show. So he'll be joining me for this episode. The only guest, guys, for those of you who are stopping by in Twitch chat, is going to be Toffees Jr. Today is just a news roundup. Good old-fashioned news roundup, the way the show was originally designed. So guys, keep in mind, if you like the show, you can follow me at Toffees_Dota 2 for updates on upcoming tournaments, etc. If you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Toffees, and you can contribute whatever you want to help keep the show running. That said, though, your support, the words you give on Reddit, and all of that stuff has really meant the world and been incredibly supportive and helpful. And I know that we've got a lot of new folks who've come to the show recently over the past month or so, and it's been pretty busy. We've had a lot of guests come in, done a lot of topical stuff, and that has been great, and we're going to keep doing that. In fact, we're going to try to get more and more. This is a one-man show, though. I want to remind you, I do it by myself, and it can get tough to get guests and things like that in all the time, so bear with me. The idea of the show at its original inception was a sort of sports center for the Dota scene. So remember, on episodes when I don't have a guest, we still are going to run through the news and make sure that you know what you need to know in order to go on following the Dota Pro scene, which is very saturated and has a lot of information coming out on a regular basis. So that said, it's going to be one of those episodes, and let's jump right into it. So for pro news today, first thing I want to talk about is MePwned, a new lineup that has been formed by a conglomeration of players and is going to be showing their face in the Dota Pit qualifiers. The roster for this new team is Hani, Fly Simba, Excalibur, Pilot Eye, and Weeha is what it looks like, and that has been reported by Dota Pit, so it looks like sort of a reconceptualization of the teams coming out of that sort of, I want to say, I guess, northeastern Europe. I'm bad with direction. But these are a lot of great players. They've all sort of floated around between teams lately. A lot of folks, for instance, Excalibur, somebody who was on the scene, was doing a great job and sort of fell off. Fly Simba, Weeha, Hani, should be a very good lineup, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they do in Dota Pit. Weeha has been at the head of a whole bunch of craziness, especially in Reddit, but other places as well, as he was being accused of cheating in the EEL, that is the European Elite League. In-house league. However, he said he was just goofing around when it happened. No harm, no foul, we'll just let it go. So whether or not you think that elite leagues are a big deal or not, there is money on the line in a lot of them. So it's something where I think people had a right to get angry, but it does seem like it's getting blown a little bit out of proportion. Number 2 on the news docket is we're going to talk about Alliance. This is a little bit older news. It's been out for a while, but Kelly Milky spoke with Johan Svedberg on Alliance's new lineup. And what it comes down to, for those of you who may not have been able to read all the paperwork or seen what it is that Alliance has basically picked their team that they're hoping to carry, stay with in its completeness from now through TI5. That does not include Admiral Bulldog. Now, Kelly Milkies has asked that we respect his privacy, allow him to kind of do what he wants to do. It sounds like he's taking some time off to focus on his own streams, to try and fall back in love with the game of Dota. It sounds like burnout. And I got to be honest, as someone who's gamed for a very long time, it doesn't surprise me. You expect burnout to happen, especially with these pros. So Admiral Bulldog is going to be working on that, and it looks like the lineup is going to be Loda, Pycat, EGM, Minuts, and Ake through TI5. Now, a lot of folks are asking about Chessie. Chessie has back injuries, and according to Kelly, they've done everything that they can to really take care of Chessie and his back, but it's gotten to the point where he cannot sit, from what I understand, longer than 45 minutes to an hour at a time, and as we all know, that is a very difficult situation to find yourselves in when it comes to a game like Dota 2. So Chessie going to be on the bench. I know that the guys from Alliance love him. I know that he's a wonderful player, and they would love to have him playing with them, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to be in the cards. And as the TI crunch draws ever nearer, it's important to sort of lock in those rosters and start to earn the invites. That's what Alliance hopes to do with this new lineup that's been doing better, much better than they have over the past couple of months. They've made some mistakes. Loda has done a great job of owning up to them. And again, I want to give props to Loda and the rest of the crew for sticking it out and staying strong during this transition period. So here's another piece, the last piece of pro news for you today, is that 333 has left Cdeck in a statement issued by the company. Cdeck says, in order to keep on developing our club, we officially announced the departure of 333 today. Coach Mikasa will stand in for 333 for the Dota 2 Asia Championships, as well as all competitions before the Chinese New Year. We'd like to express our sincere gratitude for 333's service throughout more than half of a year. He helped us to achieve many noticeable results. 333 was one of our founding members and was our original offlaner. Since the formation of Cdeck on April 26, he has helped us to achieve some great results within China. We'd like to wish him the best of luck on his professional gaming career. Now, I don't know why it is that he's leaving. We know that the international competitions that Cdeck has participated in have not gone as well as they would have liked. So the new lineup looks like Zhao Hong, maybe Mikasa, Garter, and Q should be a pretty good lineup. That's what we'll be seeing in the DAC, and it seems to be working so far, because as we get into the tournament portion of our show, tournament roundup for you, you're going to know that Cdeck is on the top of the DAC Asia brackets. That is before the morning play started, so we haven't had an updated look at the tournament brackets yet as we wait for that to happen. Let's go over to our first cover, which is DAC Europe. Hellraisers has directly qualified for the main event. Now, this was pretty impressive to me. Hellraisers came in through a pretty vicious lineup. So the teams that started the qualifier for the DAC were Alliance, Tinker, PR, Na'Vi, Hellraisers, Virtus Pro, Polar, and Empire. And that is a vicious, that's a pretty hard-hitting group of European teams who are slugging out for a spot coming out of the qualifier. Alliance did okay in their first game against Tinker, was eventually knocked out of the tournament when PR beat them and they could not get through. Now, they beat VP Polar, who's another team that has been very, very strong. We saw them at D2L and performed out of their minds for that. I believe it was a second place finish. So Alliance shows off just how much they've improved with a solidified roster and moves to round 3 of the losers bracket. That said, HR Dota comes through undefeated, basically, wins their way into the winners bracket, takes out Virtus Pro, Empire, and Power Rangers on their way to the final, where they faced back up against Power Rangers and win an awesome 3-2 game against them to advance to the next round. So that was pretty exciting, and I think that HR is looking really good as they go into the home stretch leading up to TI5. DAC Asia is also going on right now. There's a lot of games actually happening as we speak, so we'll see some new updates coming out on Wednesday's show. But as of this morning, when we wrote this thing and prepped out the podcast, Cdeck was showing off at number 1 with 12 points. They do have the most matches played of anyone. They've played 8, but they have the most wins. So this new Cdeck lineup with the loss of 333 is not hurting them that much, as their manager, Mikasa, who stepped in, seems to be playing very well. eHome at number 2. They have played 5 matches and won 4 of those 5. That's the team that we expect to finish up on the top of the list. Keeping in mind, eHome is previously the team that won D2L, as they went through a name change and are now running as eHome for reasons of their own. It sounds like they got a lot of big plans, but we won't talk about any of that until it's officially announced. But eHome doing a great job with their debut tournament, technically, as they come out looking good at number 2. Other tournament news to work over real quickly is that there was an announcement by WePlay that Season 3 League will be starting soon with a prize pool of over $150,000. So we'll get more information for you as that comes up. But right now, all you need to know is WePlay will return, and they're returning with a massive amount of money. iLeague finals have wrapped up, and LGD crushes HGT. And we say crushes because that's exactly what happened. They went 3-0 against these guys. Now, LGD, I think, was the favorite to take this thing from the get-go. They went through this entire tournament dropping only 1 game the entire time to Ninjas in Pajamas, and that is it. They, oh, sorry, little man kicked the keyboard. They went through the entire thing, dropped one game to Ninjas in Pajamas, and from then went on undefeated against IG and HGT. HGT played them in a total of 5 games between the winners bracket final and the final, and could not win any of them. So not a big surprise. iLeague, one of those tournaments that had a lot of dropouts, a lot of last minute departures that sort of, I don't want to say gutted the field, but made it a lot easier for a team like LGT to take home the big win, and that's exactly what they did to win $56,000 in the first place prize. So LGD wins that money undefeated. Dota Pit Season 3 is the last piece of news we have for you today. Has been officially announced. Season 2 grew substantially over Season 1. It looks like Season 3 will be doing the same thing. They have the same partners. They'll be working with High Ground Television to broadcast, and it looks like it is going to be, once again, part of ticket sales as well as the compendium itself. So $80,000 in the prize pool, and the teams who are invited thus far have been EG, Fire, Cloud9, Team Secret, Team Tinker, Alliance, Hellraisers, Virtus Pro Polar, Team Empire. There's also going to be a qualifier to see who fills in some final slots. Double elimination, top 2 advanced. In that qualifier, we'll have Ninjas in Pajamas, Power Rangers, Complexity, Denial, 4 Anchors and a Sea Captain, My Insanity, Basically Unknown, and the new Meepwned that we just talked about. So my favorites to come out of that one, it's going to be pretty interesting. If Power Rangers plays at the top of the game, they're looking good. Ninjas in Pajamas and Meepwned have very, very strong rosters. And, of course, Complexity, always a favorite, as they are one of the most united teams, I think, going on right now, spending a lot of time training together in houses, etc. So that's basically the news that you need to know going forward till Wednesday. DAC in full swing, something like 6 streams going on at the same time, or 6 games rather. It's been pretty gosh darn crazy all night, and I wish I could have got this podcast out to you sooner, but, well, little man did not want to take a nap, so here we are together, and we appreciate you guys tuning in. We really, really do. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you so much for your downloads. If you're listening on Twitch or live or anywhere else for that matter, we appreciate the support. And that is about all she wrote. Yes, to those asking in Twitch, Secret did get a direct invite to the DAC. If you actually go back to the episode where we had Charlie, the manager of Evil Geniuses, and Team Secret, Cloud9 came on the show. They talked a lot about direct invites and sort of how the DAC broke down. So you can go check that out if you want to. It's got some good information on why C9 was in the American qualifiers if you missed it, as well as why it is that EG got direct invites and some secret stuff as well. So go check that out. It was a good show. We appreciate you watching. Follow me at Toffees_Dota2. If you want to chat with me, you can join the Steam chat or the Dota chat. It's coffee.w/Toffees. Everyone's welcome there. That's how we play pub games and just have a good time in the evenings. And of course, if you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/Toffees to support, where you can become a Patreon member for any amount, or you can put enough down that you get the sweet new Coffee with Toffees mug. We just published this. It's out. It's ready to go. You can get that through our Patreon, or you can get that, of course, on the bottom of the Twitch page. Your choice. We'll send it to you, and you can be the coolest person in your cubicle. If you, only those who know will know, and that's why it's so great. That said, thanks for joining us today, guys. A big thank you for myself as well as Toffees Jr. I hope you have a great day. Play more Dota, and as always, Toffees out.